welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV and back to the Crystal Tower. Ah, my friend, you are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there's nothing worthwhile to report. The science continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially? In a manner like the entryway to the principal circus tower, the Elegants called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I'm loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance? And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I'm Unei, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Alagan civilization sent by the students of Baldesion to assist in your endeavor. Unei and Doga. Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incidents at the Isle of Val, I should think they have rather more pressing concerns. Remember, main quest, the Isle got annihilated? Or something? Anyway, they don't answer. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you, we are here to help. What is it, Gra? It is nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Elegant eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Elegants, yet I inherited from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life have I sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you, tell me. My deepest apologies, we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess that trait are bound by fate to our luck. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it might sound, it is the truth. It seems to me you have not to lose by accepting the aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldesion when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Unei and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you not have cause to regret your decision. Serenia, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany your new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Serenia. With Unei and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I'm hopeful that we will finally see progress. Setting events in motion, huh? Yep. The quest does not continue without me. Okay, but let's see Biggs and Wedge at the Sentinels. We're examining the rubble in the hopes that we'll lead a clue to entering Circus Tower. Can you tell we're getting desperate? Well, if it isn't Serenia, eager to enter Circus Tower and kill everything inside, no doubt. As I'm sure you already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, they say. Excellent. It's slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you just follow me, I'll take you to him. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit. And a couple new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Unei and Doga. They're scholars of ancient Alag sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you have trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. This hour we can be of some small assistance. If your attires ought to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of a structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a magic cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. Not even the cannon, huh? For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respectant. Elegant royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength, it's no use. Just as the callus is on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I'm delighted to see. Beg pardon for interrupting my bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. Rest assured, I'm no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose waits back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, it is only my just deserts, but I'm determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Alak's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say these two are descendants from Alagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Alagan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creator gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. It was not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it pleases you, let us return to the Eight Sentinels. There's much and more to tell. Very well. Seven, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland. You know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy with it. I look forward to working together, old friend. If you're ready to listen, then I shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Rammbroes may wish to be present. That's it. Before we begin, please allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars by the students of Pedestrian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through elegant technology. That is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask you why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what it is you now seek to do? Answering your question required that we revisit Allagan history. Play bear with us. The Allagan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allagan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, brought decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was not all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alak to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted but for a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You mean Emperor Xande? None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment. Copies of Unei and Doga. Historical texts mention the reign of two Allagan emperors named Xande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same. Xande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor decided to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xande turned his sight toward a forbidden source: darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness? Again? Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Yeah, you believe, Sid, you believe. Would that you're right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xande is very much alive. Within Circus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamut was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Xande Emperor's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth, its descent triggering the 7th Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. In that moment, Emperor Xande awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Tis for no other purpose than to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unei and Doga. Fearing that might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission, should they fall. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xande, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Serenia Shadowstar, we are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Badestian among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will you do, Serenia? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. What do you think? Let's do it! You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Unei and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Serenia, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Xande himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work then. And Nero. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allagan Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it's a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But time is now for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off a facility. May the crystal grant you strength. And there is our second raid of this, the Circus Tower. And of course, this is another Final Fantasy III reference with Unei, Doga, and Xande, where in Final Fantasy III, the disciples of the Archmage Noah and Unei and Doga helped you to reach Xande. Anyway, until next time, when we enter Circus Tower, I'm Mace and don't get lost.